Hello, my name is Sasha Bozio and welcome to my channel Log Into Yourself. Today I want to talk about what is embodiment. I have talked in my last videos about are you always on, what AI is doing to your mind, to your brain, to your humanness. And today I want to explore like a topic that actually is very strongly connected to the use of digital devices, because when you use a device you're not 100, you're connected, let's say you're connected to everything outside. You basically, your attention, your focus goes outside. And the more you do that, the more you spend outside, and you really try to process and assimilate what you read, what you consume, what you see outside. And that has become the main thing in our culture. People are online all the time, and I don't want to go into statistics anymore. You can listen to some of my previous videos, and I'll talk about that. But we are spending we're giving our attention to the outside world, and in a manner, in a ratio that has been unprecedented, I would say. And what's getting lost is like the connection to our inside world. That's why my channel is called Log Into Yourself. So we're outside. We think we're connected to the outside world, but we're actually not connected to our inside world. And what are the consequences? I mean, there's many consequences, but you start actually feeling disconnected from yourself. The more time you spend outside yourself, you're more disconnected from yourself. And what does disconnection mean? It means you're disconnected maybe in the beginning from your breath. You're not aware that you're breathing, how you're breathing, if it's shallow, if it's deep, and how breathing, as we know, affects our mental state. You're disconnected from your emotions, from your feelings, because you're feeling what everybody else is trying to tell you out there. You're trying to process that, take a stance before being against it. And you also are starting to be disconnected. And that's very important when we talk about feelings, from your heart, from your body, from your experience of your own body, from your own intuition. You're disconnecting from your own intuition because the entire inner world is basically, let's say, the power lines to your inner world are getting disconnected. They're not, it's not that they're gone, but we're not nurturing them because we're nurturing the power lines to the outside world. And I think that's a really big deal, because if you take a look at mental well-being, and mental illness and anxiety and all those things that are on the rise, it has to do that we're not connected to our inside world anymore. We're so overwhelmed by seeing what's going on outside and by processing and trying to take a stance to see what's going on outside, that we totally forget to process our inner world and take a look inside ourselves. And there's many different practices. Most of you have heard about meditation, breath work, yoga, all those different things that help you to connect back into your own world, to connect back to your own heart. This is really important, because the more you stop nurturing the connection to your inner world, the unhappier you will get. I think that's the statement I really want to make. That's my experience. And yes, it's not maybe that entertaining and not that convenient and that exciting to really start looking inside, because you might see things that are not so pleasant, that don't feel so good, that you don't want to address. And that's fine. And there's methods and help for that. But there's no way around to do that if you want to live a fulfilled and happy and creative and successful life. So again, it's convenient to put your attention outside, to look outside and find satisfaction and stimulation, and try to find satisfaction and stimulation outside. At the end, you'll never find it, because it's endless. The only way you can find true happiness and true satisfaction if you start looking inside yourself. So what is embodiment? What does it mean to be embodied? And by no means, I'm no expert. That's a lot of different schools that talk about that out there, but I just want to share what my experience is, and would love to hear if you have anything that relates to that. So in my opinion, embodiment is being connected to your true self, to be really connected, let's say that again, to your breath, to feel how you're breathing, to observe how your breath comes in and comes out, how it distributes in your body. Embodiment means for me to be connected to my heart, to actually be able to sit here for a certain amount of time and feel what I'm feeling in my heart. Is my heart like all closed up and protected? Is it open? Is it very sensitive, or is it very, very um, like rigid, solid, like a rock? What is it? What does it feel like? And approach this from a less rational point of view. Approach it more from an emotional, intuitive point of view. So again, embodiment means for me to actually be able to connect to my heart, to listen to my heart, and to sit with my heart. To just maybe spend 5 or 10 minutes every day or twice a day and sit and breathe and feel and put your attention into your heart. See what happens. Embodiment to me also means maybe to connect to other parts in my body, to breathe in to my entire body, to breathe into my feet, to breathe into my arms, shoulders, chest, belly, wherever, and really try to feel what's going on there. You know, again, this is not like watching a stimulating video on YouTube or watching a sports game or a movie, which is on the outside way more exciting, but it's actually a much different approach to see what's going on inside yourself. So log into yourself and see what's going on there and be able to process the tension, the fear, the excitement, the expectations, everything that you know can experience. Try to make a connection with that. Embodiment means actually also to make a connection with yourself, to make a connection with your feeling, to make a connection with your body, with the way your body feels, the way your body parts feel, the way your mind feels. That's when we come back into the heart to really see what's going on there. And if you don't cultivate that and if you don't practice that, you will lose it. And your life will become more rational, machine minded, like I said, more AI like. And I don't know if you want that. I mean, I think there's such a big, humongous, undiscovered world to be discovered inside ourselves if we're willing to do the work. So, again, embodiment means to really reconnect and go inside and really see what you can find there, and actually also learn to not push it away if something unpleasant comes up. I think the key to that in whole embodiment is also to discover what's going on inside yourself and learn to be okay, accept it, and actually maybe in the first place just experience it, because the natural tendency for us is to push unpleasant things away. And that's also why the use of digital devices is become so powerful, because we're constantly searching for that pleasant dopamine kick. And most of the times it is pleasant because it gives us something like this search and find kind of mechanism where we're trying to look for stimulating info, could be good or bad, and boom, oh yeah, it feels good, but now I need another one. So and that continues to keeps going, and if you're not aware of that, you really, yeah, lose an element of your happiness, because it is something that is really draining, exhausting, and leaves you unfulfilled. So again, let's look back inside and see what is embodiment. Embodiment, again, is connecting to our self, connecting to our heart, connecting to our body, connecting to our mind, connecting to our breath. And if you want to go deeper, connecting to each and every cell in your body. And yes, that might sound very abstract to you, but that's possible. And it's not in a rational way that you connect to every cell like in a very rational way. It's more like an awareness, consciousness thing where you really try to feel every cell in your body, because your cells are the antennas that absorb everything that's going on outside in this world. It's not only your rational mind, your abstract mind, your thinking mind, as someone would call it. It's actually your entire, we call it soma, your entire organism, your entire cell organism that makes an experience. So if you go like put your phone away and go into the forest or go into nature or take a bath in a mountain, or lake or river, you will feel that you have like a certain kind of full body somatic experience, and that brings you back inside, that really brings your attention, your focus, your connection back inside yourself. And that's what I'm talking about. That's just one example. So again, what is embodiment? And I said it now 3 or 4 times. It is really to look inside yourself, to connect inside yourself and see what's there, and see how different that feels from connecting with the outside world continuously every 20 minutes to see what's going on outside. And what we're not aware of is that we have to process what's going on outside continuously and therefore overstimulate our processor, our own rational mind. But why not stop and actually look as much inside ourselves and find a quiet moment, find a quiet space? Quietness is underappreciated, and sit with yourself. And I promise you, you will not feel good in the first couple times you do that, because you will feel antsy. You want to exit. You want to exit. If you go inside yourself, your tendency is to exit and look outside yourself again. Disconnect. Your tendency is disconnecting from yourself. And, if you're courageous and try to sit through it, you will discover a different world. You will discover a different experience. You will discover so much more inner power and intuition that you can use your creativity in your life, your joy. But you have to be willing to really focus that kind of initial nothingness that you think that you will experience when you sit with yourself, and just breathe and focus on your heart or whatever makes sense. We'll talk about different practices later on. But that's my invitation to think about it. What is embodiment? Is to look inside yourself and see what's there. Can you do it? Can you do it for 5 minutes a day? Can you create a situation that allows you to sit with yourself, log into yourself 5 minutes a day? That's my challenge. That's my challenge to you. Try it out, leave a comment, and we'll talk about that more in the future. Have a good day.